So the first crying of Jesus you will find in Gospel of Luke 23:34, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. And some scholar called it the word of forgiveness. We know that when Jesus was hanged on the cross, there were a group of people who were standing there watching him die. And if you wanted to split those groups, there were two groups. There was Roman soldiers who were carrying out this execution of Jesus on the cross, and there were some Jews, including Jesus' mother and John, one of his disciples. And Jesus said very interesting thing. Father, forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. And it provoked this question, do they really don't know what they are doing? Well, for Romans, they were carrying out the order. So they know exactly what they were doing. They have hanged so many people. There was a method of punishment in times of Roman. So they were following their orders. They knew exactly what they were doing. On the other hand, there were Jews who were the leaders of the synagogue and the high priest and scribes and teachers of laws. They had demanded that Jesus should die. And what was the accusation they had? If you read Matthew 9:3, they said, then at once some of the scribes and within themselves, they said that this man is a blasphemer. Now, if you know that, if you read John 19, let me read a couple of verses. John 19:13-16. When the Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Jesus out and sat down in the judgment seat in the place that is called the pavement. In Hebrew, it is called Gabbatha. Now, it was the preparation day of the Passover, and about the 6th hour, and he said to the Jews, behold your king. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said to them, shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar. Then he delivered him to them to be crucified. Then they took Jesus and led him away. So it was the leaders of Jews, high priests, and the teachers of the law. They took Jesus, they led away to be crucified. And they were knowing exactly what they were doing. There was a beautiful thing Jesus kept saying about these leaders of that time, Jewish leaders, priests and Pharisees and teachers of the law, because they were so much dedicated to keep the law. They wanted to follow everything. They were accusing Jesus that why you are healing on Sabbath day. You are not supposed to heal. You should not be working on Sabbath day. And Jesus also rebuked that, guys, you are giving tithe of everything, little things, but you are forgetting mercy and grace and kindness. So they exactly knew what they were doing. They were following the Leviticus law, the book of Leviticus 24, verse 15 and 16. It says that, then you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, whosoever cursed this God shall bear his sin, and whosoever blasphemes the name of the Lord shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall certainly stone him, the strangers as well as him who is born in the land. When he blasphemes the name of the Lord, he shall be put to death. So they knew the law that whoever blasphemes against God, he should put to death. The difference is how you put to death. They should have stoned Jesus. That was the law. However, hanging on the cross was not a Jewish law, how you put somebody to death. It was a Roman law. So when, yes, somebody should be put to death, but the way of execution is changed here. Jesus was put to death through crucifixion. How that happened? The Jewish leaders were so careful in keeping the laws that how they missed it. Well, if you read Galatians 3:13, it says, Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, having become a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone who hangs on the tree. So, hanging on the tree has something to do with the curse. So, God orchestrated. It was a choice that God chose to die. Jesus chose to die the way that he become a curse. So, in a sense, these Jewish leaders were following the law, so they know exactly what they are doing. But the thing they were not knowing, that Jesus chose to die this way. And Jesus said that, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. Because what they were not knowing, that Jesus was taking away the curse that was supposed to come on you and me. And he was taking that curse on himself. If Jesus' death is just going to bring us salvation, or his death was only for the salvation, then he could have died with any way. No, but Jesus wanted to bring more than just the salvation. He wanted us to have a blessings by removing the curse from us. And he has to die on the tree, on the cross. That's why he can remove that was a place for you and me to die as a part of curse on us. But Jesus took upon himself and died in our place. So when Jesus said that, Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they are doing. Yes, they were crucifying him. Yes, they were following the laws of Moses by killing Jesus for blasphemy, which was not true, because Jesus was a God. They did not recognize him. But they were not able to hear it. They were not able to see it. What God is doing here. Is it possible that we have missed also why Jesus died on the cross? But now we know that he loves us so much that Jesus wanted to remove this curse from you and me.